Looksmaxxing is this new term that has been used for body dysmorphia, especially within men out there, where men are imposing these beauty standards on other men that are ridiculous. I have no idea what is wrong with these men to be doing something so terrible to themselves. And they all look horrible. They look terrifying.
Today, fitness influencers are ditching health altogether and embracing extreme optimization instead, going so far as even drinking their own semen.
Nikolai is going to give me his...
Ew, why? No, they are drinking each other's.
His divine protein shake. Yes.
Steroid-induced fertility.
How do you not get girls pregnant?
Well, I'm infertile from steroids.
Getting locked away for psychosis.
So he literally gave up on having kids for beauty.
And even fatal peptide overdoses.
On the morning of February 25th, 2022, Boston's heart gave out while working out at a gym down the street from his home.
This is a body that's destroyed, 100% destroyed from drugs. He had end-stage kidney disease.
Boston killed his kidneys with
Adipotide.
a peptide.
And it's only getting more popular. Tech billionaires are making transhumanism a reality, while Brian Johnson is spending $500 million on Project Blueprint, his project to cheat death itself and permanently alter the human race.
We really are at this stage of potentially the most extraordinary existence in the galaxy.
If
So
this
my
guy
objective is
dies
not life
young,
maximization, it's species maximization.
It's straight out of their favorite sci-fi stories. It is the merging of corporatism and transhumanism, as the money to be made off of these drugs will reach $335 billion in less than 10 years. But even with modern technologies and unlimited wealth, they still need something else to make this work. A society that sees their bodies as deficient and upgradable.
I was fat, ugly, like short, I'd say. When I started taking the steroids, all those things
These
like
are
definitely changed. Like
teenagers.
I got more jacked.
And I feel like the majority of the teenagers who follow these influencers and they get influenced by them, they are the ones who are in such a huge danger and nobody sees it. Nobody saw it coming. There is so many things like this happening. And this is one of them that now we are talking about, and it could be so late for so many.
And like better looking, honestly, I'd say for sure.
They need guinea pigs willing to risk their lives on extreme methods of human enhancement.
Welcome to another episode of Lab Rats, where I'm treating my body as a lab rat and letting you know what peptides did what to my body.
And the
Why would you
online
do
fitness
that?
influencer trend was
Why?
on
You
hand
have one
to provide
body.
a cohort primed for that very
One
thing.
life.
500 chest, 80 tren, and 50 anabar daily pre-workout.
I'm doing 500 tests right now. A
He can
weekly,
barely
500
talk.
mast, then every day 8 units of growth hormone.
Bro, you can actually barely speak. Like, you can hear the trouble of his like breathing and speaking. It's like his heart is working overtime that he cannot even make a breath. Like, he's about to like just faint here.
Then insulin, 8 units pre-workout, 15 units post-workout.
What?
And Lantus insulin, it's long-acting insulin, 25 units every day. I'm doing BPC capsules.
What
for
is all
my
of this?
digestion. And
I've never
then
heard of any of
BPC
this.
157, 500 mcg a day, just peptides, and then MOTC, 1 mg. And then T4, 75 mg for my thyroid.
For these billionaires and the emerging $300 billion enhancement substances market, the games and its
course.
athletes are just one station on the journey to the future of mankind.
course.
And influencers are the vehicle they are using to get us all on board.
And the cool thing about this substance is it is the pinnacle of the natty or not debate. Because this
Look at this guy. Look how weird he looks. He looks like a cartoonish character. Like, what is this? What is happening here? You can see this is so unnatural.
substance contains exogenous hormones, yet this substance is produced naturally. Yeah, it also
Nothing
has
is
like follicle
natural about
stimulating
what you're
hormone.
saying.
It has nerve growth factor. It is neuroregenerative. It protects against Alzheimer's. That when they give spermidine to animals, it has shown to increase their lifespan by up to 25%. So I started ingesting this substance, my own.
You're not an animal. You're a
And
human.
the results were incredible. I started feeling like a superhuman. My physique has gotten better. This protein shake of testosterone and spermidine and nerve growth factor is going to be incredible. And yeah, I'm going to drink it. And this is going to be on OnlyFans.
Conor Murphy was one of the most prominent influencers of the 2010s fitness boom. 4 million subscribers watched him work out, approach women.
So that's the same guy, and he had such a nice physique and such a nice face. Look what he has done to himself. And this is the thing, they don't even see it coming. It's like, it's a body dysmorphia. Body dysmorphia just happens naturally over time without you even noticing the signs anymore, and you become a victim. So he thinks he needs to do more and more so he can get more and more compliments, while not understanding that the more you do, the worse it gets. Not only for your health, but also visibly physically. Like, he looked so good here. I remember when he would be like approaching people looking like a nerd, whatever, and then he would take off his shirt and everybody is so impressed with his abs, you know, but nobody would see it on his face. Now, if you approach me with that face, with that like chat thing going on, like the same thing that Zac Efron did to himself and ruined his face, no thank you.
Shirtless in public, and debates whether he was natural or on steroids. He was good looking, funny, and physically impressive. And for a lot of young guys into the gym, he was exactly what they wanted to become. And that's exactly why what he became instead matters. Like most fitness influencers, he began with bodybuilding, making videos of his workouts, dieting, and his impressive body transformation. He builds a large following as fitness influencing explodes on YouTube. He's young, handsome, and obviously ripped. People, mainly other men, gravitate to him easily. But his transformation isn't really a journey at all. It's simply a solution for his insecurity, and the validation his audience gives him still isn't enough.
And think about it, man. Think of the reason why a lot of these people started. It's because they were like insecurities. They had like insecurities when they were young, so they started, you know, wanting to get bigger.
So he pivots away from pure fitness content and into vanity videos instead, walking around shirtless in public and getting women to touch him.
3 chances to guess the color of my shirt under my jacket. You want to see your new favorite color?
Your new favorite color. That's so...
Oh my god.
It's cringeworthy, demeaning, and YouTube loves it. But it's still not enough for him. He wants to dominate.
It's cringeworthy, demeaning, and YouTube loves it. That is so true. Because I remember I watched that too and I was like, oh my god, interesting.
Dominates the fitness influencer world. So he leans into the biggest debate in fitness at the time. The biggest debate isn't about peptides or transhumanism. It's much simpler. Are you natty or not?
What's a natty?
I've been natural.
Natural.
Not worth the consequence to me. As soon as you hop on something, you have to like do that for basically the rest of your life. Also, I hate needles.
And despite his principles, this is the point just before Conor the fitness influencer dies. Not literally, but psychologically. Up until now, his identity and sense of self-worth is rooted in his physique and being seen.
World Health Organization has just declared a global coronavirus. It is a pandemic.
COVID then kills the street content, leaving Murphy stuck indoors with no one to take his shirt off for, which then leads to an identity crisis that he remedies with ayahuasca. And in doing so firmly closes any debate about what happens when an egotistical narcissist dissolves their ego by abusing the most powerful psychedelic on earth.
Got in the psych ward again. Shoot!
I made it out! I made it out! I'm out of the psych ward!
From here, he embraces more extreme optimization.
What
by
the hell
drinking
was that?
liquid
That was
protein,
him?
otherwise known as semen.
The results were incredible. I started feeling like a superhuman. You know, my physique has gotten better. My physique has gotten so much better over the past several weeks.
So you're trying to tell me that he does that deed and then he drinks it?
To explore enhancement even further, he moves to Thailand, a paradise for enhancement lab rats. PEDs are available and laws prohibiting them aren't enforced.
So yes, I decided to hop on anabolic steroids. So here's my physique on day 1, and here's my physique on day 30. Do I think it's natural or not? Well, to be honest, I don't give a fuck anymore.
And he goes much further. He becomes a Looksmaxxer and goes from this to this.
Oh my god, there is no way this is real!
Insecurity is a facet of...
Please tell me this is a joke. Like, he will like be 2 steps ahead or whatever, remember? Like, there is no way this is real. How does he think this looks good? Bruh, he looks like a hamster.
of our evolutionary design
Keeping
to
his
ensure
nuts
we seek
in.
evolutionary
I mean,
advantages.
kinda
At its
he
core,
kinda
Looksmaxxing is simply an attempt to gain an evolutionary advantage to maximize the chance of survival and reproduction.
But he doesn't stop there. He becomes a steroid and peptide influencer, setting up Natty Plus Protocol's social media accounts promoting peptides, steroids, and the different stacks people can use to make the quickest
my God,
gains.
look at
But
his
Murphy is just
face.
one example of a broad pattern. The underlying issues that push vulnerable people, many of them fitness influencers, into enhancement are widespread. They are cultivated by the same industries whose leaders are now pushing transhumanism. Once your body becomes the product, improvement isn't enough. It has to be optimization, then enhancement, and then whatever comes after that. Scrolling through TikTok and YouTube shows, most
Crazy what
fitness
people will do
influencers
for
are using
looks.
steroids, peptides, and simply glorifying enhancement.
I only did 200 tests, 200 tren, and like Anavar.
No, what? I did the 400
Okay, yeah, I
test,
know what you did. I'm
400
talking about me.
tests, 200 tren, 300 Masteron, like 25 milligrams of Winstrol every day.
Now, if this were limited to adults, perhaps we could ignore it. They have
Imagine what
agency,
that does
their
to
body's
your
their
inner
choice. But
organs.
now kids as young as 13 are using steroids and peptides.
No.
Eric English
How
is
is
a
that
perfect
allowed?
example of how steroid washing is
Hello, hello, mom, dad, where are you? Hello, are you anywhere to be seen?
young
What?
people. This is Eric as a fitness-obsessed 13-year-old. It's commendable. He's focused on fitness when most other kids his age are playing Fortnite. But soon, he starts taking gear.
There is nothing wrong in being obsessed with anything at that age. That's wrong to say, you know. You should try everything in order to figure out in the future what makes who you are. But fitness is a good choice, you know. Like if he would be working out but also balancing it with other things, I would say yes. But obsessing over something is completely wrong.
And by the time he's 15, he already looks like a monster.
No.
And this isn't a one-off.
That's scary.
Another steroided up
That in
influencer
2
admitted
years
to
he
helping
looked like
Eric
that.
to bulk. This friend of his might be even more disturbing. He's 5'3" tall, 19 years old, 350 pounds.
There is no way he's
and
natural.
can leg press more than most adult bodybuilders. Once you see how tech, social media, and manufactured insecurity combine to normalize and promote enhancement, you see just how insidious this movement truly is. The enhanced games aren't a harmless exercise in pushing humanity's limits. For the people funding the games and pushing enhancement as the next obvious stage in human evolution, it's an irreversible milestone in their harnessing of tech, social media, and societal body dysmorphia to engineer a society of enhanced humans.
I'm going to build a country, and so I'm going to build a don't die nation state.
Despite this trend of enhancement
We're
dressed up as health
humans, we're
and
supposed
fitness,
to die.
the
I don't wanna
reality is
be a
many of these
vampire.
kids are unlikely to live to see 30. At the lighter end of the scale, side effects young influencers are seeing from enhancing drugs are the exact ones you'd want to avoid if you were insecure and wanted to look better. Chronic acne being one of them. 16-year-old Martin Memphis is already seeing awful reactions to
Like I would say if you have acne here and there, of course as a teenager you're gonna have that. It's gonna like just take care of it and in the future it's gonna be gone, you know. Watch out what you're eating, don't stress a lot, shower daily. Like there are things that you can do naturally to enhance that. But also you have to figure out it's the time. It's like teenage years, the hormonal imbalance that you're going through. It's completely normal. But this leaves, if I look at this, it leaves actual marks on his body and it's all over his body, which completely shows you that even his skin cannot breathe anymore.
me being one of them. 16-year-old Martin Memphis is already seeing awful reactions to performance-enhancing drugs. Given the crossover with Looksmaxxing, you'd think this would be enough to stop them, but no. Because Looksmaxxing isn't just a trend, it's an industry, one that sells a drug for everything. This is what a market looks like when it's designed around insecurity. Stopping is never the answer is always the next product. Got acne from testosterone?
all of
Don't
that to
stop,
get
just take
attention.
aromatase inhibitors
And
to
the
offset
attention
the
is
acne.
mostly from
These
other men, by
inhibitors
the
are
way,
now
not
giving you
women.
joint pain? Well
Women
then
don't
you
wanna
just
see
need some
that.
peptides. BPPC 157 should do it.
That sounds
or
like
TB
something that
500.
would kill
And if they're not working, just hop on some
rats.
growth hormone peptides. Ipamorelin or CGC 1295 will take care of
Don't
that.
teach us. We
If
don't
you
want to
decide
know.
to take HGH or IGF-1 LR3, it's a good way to segue into the whole world of pharmacology, in terms of optimizing different mechanisms in your body.
Stopping is never the cure, more treatment is. And that's not an accident. The global enhancement substances market will be worth $335 billion by 2035. And that number doesn't exist without people who can never stop. The insecurity isn't a bug in the system, it's the business model. It's always been there, but it was found, fed,
We
and given
all
direction.
know that
Social media
economically
built the
speaking,
audience.
it's like the
algorithm
second
rewarded
biggest
escalation. And further up the chain, people with money and a very specific vision for the future of the human
Sphere.
species were paying attention. The enhanced games aren't an endpoint. They're a press release for something that's been in development for years. It's why the billionaires backing this aren't spectators. In fact, they were never spectators.
You also have to remember that with the enhanced games, this is not just a sporting competition, this is a for-profit company. So these are people seeking to make money off the use of these substances.
Yeah, of
Those
course.
pushing enhancement aren't
They don't
doing this
care.
because they're interested in the human body. They're
You
just
think
ensuring
we don't
they're ahead
know
of
the
next
cure to
curve.
cancer?
They
Of
want
course
ownership
we have
of the
a
next
cure.
stage of human evolution.
But it's
They
not in
want the
their
IP behind enhancement. This isn't
advantage.
just a human experiment. It's product guinea pig testing for one of the biggest emerging markets.
Our mission is, as a company, is to give everyone in the world the opportunity to live enhanced. And we do that by firstly creating awareness through sports that performance enhancements under the right clinical and medical supervision actually can be very good for people.
The transformation of fitness influencers into human experiments for new substances is exactly what deregulation advocates need. Regular gym goers aren't helpful. It needs to be posted, shared, and envied. That's why the tech industry, particularly
Like, this is one of the reasons why you see so many records being broken in some sports out there. And I kind of dislike that, because it doesn't mean that you naturally broke those records. Those records should not have been broken. They should have a different type of records qualification. If you are not natural and you are using these enhancements or whatever, break whatever records that are there and do whatever you want, because people are going to be using and abusing that just to break those records, and they would be ready to die to break those records. That's like the stress you put on people to break those records. While on the other hand, you have it all natural and they know their capacity and there is no going forward, and that's it. Hands up and realizing that this is the best you can do and moving on with life, because life should matter, not only breaking records.
social media is so key to all of this. Envied. That's why the tech industry, particularly social media, is so key to all of this.
Your social media feed at this point?
Obviously, gym influencers, the top ones right now.
Do you think you would have gotten on steroids without social media?
No. Definitely seeing like people do it is like what makes you want to do it, for sure.
It's not hard to get.
It needs to work its way through the algorithm and onto the screens of insecure people, particularly the young. It's why Peter Thiel isn't just investing in the games, but also in influencers with no intentions of competing in anything. And Brian Johnson is harder to replace.
Yeah,
than Thiel.
because he knows there is just a limited amount of people who are going to be competing and who are going to be using those enhancements. This is like literally going viral, going out there to consumerism all around the world.
As he's not funding populist politicians or backing Looksmaxxers. He's just eccentric and very open about everything he does. And unlike most billionaires, he does seem kind of harmless. A man just simply devoted to immortality and willing to turn his own body into a public science experiment.
Yes, but at
Some
what
find
cost?
him weird and funny, others admirable. But this is what makes him an unwitting ambassador for a darker ideology lurking beneath his own. He makes enhancement aspirational. Our bodies are problems to be solved. It's the same idea as when a teenager injects peptides. Johnson just has better lighting and production and a more likable personality. Peter Thiel, however, doesn't use lighting. He just works in the shadows, letting others insidiously spread his worldview.
Thiel is also personally invested in signal boosting friend of the show, Braden Clavicular Peters. He seems to have a vested interest in creating a post-humanist, technologically transformed future wherein real people like you and I cease to exist in our flesh form.
I'm an accelerationist in what I do.
So you started taking testosterone when you were how old?
When I was 14. And just the introduction of things like HGH and aromatase inhibitors extremely young.
The rumors started with Clavicular's own stream on Twitch, where he
Why
reveals
is
a
this
certain
movie
Mr.
becoming
P
a reality
donated
now?
an enormous sum of money multiple
You know
times.
what I'm talking about, right?
He's going crazy, man. Already donated 500 and 100 gifted subs.
These donations are telling because this mysterious donor called P isn't just giving Clav money. He's paying for thousands of other viewers' subscriptions to Clav's channel, both funding Clav and facilitating his online rise.
Yep.
He also spoke about how Teal invited him to a party at his house, which he refused to go to as apparently Teal wanted him there alone. And apparently a journalist revealed that Clav booted her out of his house after she asked about the rumors of Teal funding him.
Of course, the rumors about him and Peter Thiel, because that is absolutely everywhere. But we do a little journalism. The second that I brought up Peter Thiel and Palantir, he panicked.
It seems like a strange coupling, doesn't it? One of the world's most intelligent men who plays the long game, spending decades becoming the political puppet master of the modern world, while also having one of the most heavily guarded public personas. And then there's a 20-year-old who doesn't appear to think or care about the future whatsoever and cares for nothing but visibility. But this does actually make sense. Clavicular is emblematic of the transformation of fitness influencers into enhanced humans and then into enhancement influencers.
Like, I think individualism is the most important thing to succeed. Like, I don't really think that you should strive to like get along with everyone. You should just try to advance yourself as a man as much as possible.
The first focused on health and strength. The second focused on achieving the ideal look of health and strength. The third aren't truly interested in either. They just want to be seen as better than others.
I don't know too much about the modern fitness space.
Why is it
I
a
think
problem
it's,
to be like others?
I'm really disappointed in like the direction it's taken. You know what I'm trying to get out of these.
And you know, like the saddest part about this, I'm sure he's such a miserable soul. Like there are the others that he says he doesn't want to be as, who are thousands of times more happy and content with who they are. And it's really sad to see that he goes through all of this shit just to die young and not be happy. Be completely unhappy and unsatisfied ever.
Extreme Looksmaxxing protocols is, you know, to basically mock people. That's like my main goal.
To show how different this is to the original bodybuilding fitness culture, influencers like
was
Clav are
bullied
destroying
young.
their capacity
There is
for the
no,
most
like,
definitive male action there is,
This guy was
impregnating
completely
women.
bullied.
How do you not get girls pregnant?
Well, I'm infertile from steroids, so if
PTSD.
I, you know, can't get her pregnant because of the steroids.
But Tech and Teal's rumored interest in clavicular and
Doesn't even
enhanced
care about
humans goes
having a
way
family.
beyond steroid Olympics and building supreme
So
body.
he would rather live long and young or forever alone. That's how much he cares about himself and how narcissistic he is and egotistical. He doesn't even want to share this Looksmaxxing with his future kids or whatever. Doesn't care about the world. He only cares about himself.
He wants to use and enhanced humans goes way beyond steroid Olympics and building supreme bodies. He wants to use modern tech, substances, and now influences to build a new world, or rather a new version of the old one. A techno-feudalist society, where we become guinea pigs in a tech CEO's fever dream, and where women are just seen as statistics for a man's body count.
When you do look for something serious, what do you think you would be looking for outside of the looks?
Well, obviously not someone who's focused on career. Like, you don't want a girl who's wanting to work in like a corporate environment and, you know, working long hours.
That's boring,
you need someone who's willing to, you know, start a family with you, essentially. Just a girl
Can they
who
do
is,
both?
Extremely like modest too is another big one. Like,
That's
not
good.
wearing revealing stuff, like not posting on Instagram. Your girlfriend, your wife, is an extension of you. So if
But
she's
you're
not
posting on
doing
Instagram.
everything in her power to make you look better as a person, then that's just not something that you should want to get into. I don't really like a woman who tries to be super educated.
Why would Teal want
Oh, God forbid. She needs to be stupid and not know better and be a sheep. Okay, great. That reminds me of something.
this? He's perhaps the most powerful billionaire on Earth. So why does he need to bend society to his beliefs? Well, the answer is more disturbing than anything you've seen in this video.
We could never win an election on getting certain things because we were in such a small minority. But maybe you could actually unilaterally change the world without having to constantly convince people and beg people and plead with people who are never going to agree with you. And this is where I think technology is this incredible alternative to politics.
The Dark Enlightenment is a movement that believes democracy is wrong, that hierarchy is natural, and that a technologically superior elite should rule.
Politics has become so broken and so dysfunctional is to find a way to escape from it. It's not a way to fix it, it is a way to escape.
If you believe that, an influencer who calls unenhanced people subhuman isn't a problem. He's just proof of concept.
You know, but you're talking to people with genetically low intellect who are extremely subhuman.
What's subhuman?
Subhuman is a term that we use in like the Looksmaxxing community for like horrendously ugly people.
Wow.
It sounds like incel language, but it's also exactly the philosophical position of the movement Teal has spent his
literally now we are putting them between there. So we have animals, and then we have subhumans, and then we have humans, Looksmaxxers. Interesting. Nothing wrong can come from this, right? We haven't done this through history and proven wrong over and over again.
It's also exactly the philosophical position of the movement Teal has spent his fortune normalizing.
These Looksmaxx creators were all genetically gifted.
The movement has eerie parallels to scientific eugenics being applied to society, while they also want to establish authoritarian city-states where tech elites can remove themselves from democracy, and where ideal humans are competed for as citizens.
I think we can try to create autonomous countries on oceans, underwater, all sorts of other spaces.
And it's not just Teal. There's tons of others behind it in Silicon Valley. Sam Altman, Mark Andreessen, even Brian Johnson. And influencers like Clav just appear like prime tools to normalize this message.
I think everyone should be on testosterone.
Yeah, he's a
Fitness influencing's transformation into a modern pseudo-eugenics program for an anti-democratic tech utopia sounds extreme. But this idea that some humans are biologically superior, and that society should be reorganized around that, seems like something we've seen before. And it always ends badly.
It always ends badly. What are we doing saying they're naturally better than any other people? Like, what are you doing? You are literally saying the same thing in different words.
Born in Germany, something we've seen before, and it always ends badly. Teal was born in Germany, and allegedly one of his biggest influences on his worldview was actually Carl Schmitt, otherwise known as the Crown Jurist of the Third Reich. A fervent authoritarian who made philosophical justifications for the extermination of people he believed to be subhuman. In an interview about Schmitt's influence on his worldview, Teal specifically equates Schmitt's analysis on politics and democracy in pre-Nazi Germany to the problems he sees with democracy today.
There are certainly certain parallels in the US in the 2020s to Germany in the 1920s, where liberalism is exhausted. One suspects that democracy, whatever that means, is exhausted, and
you know what?
We have to ask some questions very far outside the open window. That's
What
sort of
questions?
where I find Schmitt quite powerful as a thinker.
His use of an Olympic-style event to showcase and further his aim of superior humans is weirdly similar to the Berlin Olympics in 1936. But the long missing piece of eugenics and transhumanism has now arrived. The final piece of the puzzle that will permanently tie together tech, power, and the future of humanity.
This morning, the little boy we've been following for months who received the first of its kind gene therapy for a potentially fatal disease is marking major developmental milestones. Earlier this year, he became the first patient in the world to receive a personalized gene editing therapy.
Gene editing is now here, and while the case of a baby being saved is heartening, the reality is the billionaires funding this aren't doing this for sick children. They likely use this like the UK government uses child as a way to control the internet. Using children is always the front. And like the promise of AI, this won't be immediately deployed worldwide, but it will be controlled by wealthy tech elites for their own benefit.
I'm traveling to a remote island for an extreme medical procedure that could change the future of humanity. In the shadow of the Caribbean lies Roatan, a hidden gem off the Honduran coast. Shrouded in mystery, Roatan hides a secret venture, Prospera, an experimental zone for governance. Prospera defies convention, crafting its own laws in a game of high geopolitical stakes against the Honduran government's backlash. I'm traveling to the heart of Prospera to find MiniCircle, a biohacking company rewriting the rules of wellness. Their target, follistatin gene therapy, a pioneering technology with the potential to improve muscle and strength,
it's interesting
slow
how far
the
he
speed
had
of
to
aging,
travel
and
to
many
be
more
able to do
benefits.
something like this.
Prospera is the first of the sovereign city-states created by the tech billionaires behind the Dark Enlightenment
Makes a question,
movement.
why is it made there?
And Minicircle, the company using Prospera and its lack of regulation to experiment with gene therapy, is funded by those same tech billionaires, the Sam Altmans, the Peter Thiels. The enhanced game shows us where they are dragging us, but it also distracts from what we aren't allowed to see, an experiment within an experiment. The holy grail of transhumanism, gene editing, being carried out secretly in the Vatican of the network state. The enhanced games aren't an absurd anomaly, they are just the tip of the iceberg that's already sinking us. Tech billionaires built the technology that allowed ideas to spread globally and immediately. They took control of the trends and influences to spread their own messages on social media. They catapulted agreeable politicians into power and captured the governments they openly planned to destroy. And now these politicians roll out the policy designed to accelerate the Dark Enlightenment's transformation of society, to become one where immortal tech billionaires own everything, are accountable to no one, and the subhumans are left to fend for themselves, with a society that once acted as a safety net stripped away.
Past generations of Americans pursued big dreams and daring projects that once seemed absolutely impossible. They pushed across an unsettled continent and built new cities in the wild frontier. We should hold a contest to charter up to 10 new cities and award them to the best proposals for development. In other words, we'll actually build new cities in our country again. These freedom cities will reopen the frontier, reignite American imagination.
They call it freedom, but somewhere between the freedom cities and the psych between species maximization and a 16-year-old with steroid acne, something got lost. The people at the bottom of the experiment were never going to be the ones who inherited the future being built for them. They just made it look desirable.
Games. All over again. In reality. Holy man, this video was actually like, it started kind of like minimal, you know, with the whole idea, but it went political and above. It opens horizons, makes you question. Of course, we should not take everything he has said like as 100%, but it should be the start to ask ourselves where this is leading. And when you see stuff like that, you should be asking questions and you should be learning and you should be going out there and discovering more, especially if you let yourself getting influenced. In my opinion, this is the least we could do for our future generations, like to stop this before it is too late, to expose this and to make sure that the teenagers don't get influenced, that our children, our future children are not getting influenced by this, because it starts like this, but it doesn't end like this. You know through history how it ends, and it's horrifying. Now they are using all of these big words. Now they are using all of these faces that look pretty in order to influence you. Like, they know social media is like their best way. Propaganda even existed back in the day, but now they are using social media, the internet, to be able to influence everyone out there. And we just take it as it is and we move on because we are so busy with our own lives. But sometimes we should just take a pause and think about this and think where it's leading, and we don't have to do major steps, but like minimum steps for now, at least, in order to prevent this from escalating quickly. All right, guys, that is it. Let me know what you think about all of this. It's terrible. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you did enjoy this video. And if you want to see more, make sure to subscribe and like this video, and see you next time. Bye.